okay, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, Ian. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. So Toys R Us, beloved Toys R Us, beloved Jersey company, remember. They've come back with some mall offerings, some mall shops. They've done a couple. First store opened in New Jersey in Paramus, and then one in Houston opened up here. It opened the Wednesday before Thanksgiving at the Westfield Garden State Plaza Mall in Paramus. That's a big mall. I've never been there, but New Jersey's like the world's per capita largest, like the most amount of malls per people, I think, is Jersey. I think that might still be true. Anyway, so they went bankrupt in 2017, as we know, and then sadly by like June 2018, early July, they were all closed, the stores. So they did the ribbon cutting ceremony, and it's now, you know, they're mall shops now, Ian. That's the play with Toys R Us. They're going to slowly try to build back up the brand after almost selling off everything and liquidating the trademark even in the brand name. They kept it, and then they're trying to bring it back slowly with some mall stores, which I guess makes sense because mall space is probably the cheapest it's ever been, and obviously it's a lot easier just to sell certain things in a mall versus open up huge gigantic stores that lay waste in the retail world now, and doing that. So I guess it's bittersweet just because it's glad to see it's still around as a brand, but obviously this is not what we had as Toys R Us, but it's nice to have it around. So I guess, I mean, it's better than it not being around. I'm sort of like confused about what to think.
I have no love for a brand. I don't care if something says Toys R Us. It doesn't give me any fucking jollies. A
lot of people it does though.
I think loving a brand is silly. It's not the original toy store that you went to, and I'm more pissed off that tons and tons of people lost their jobs, and now surprise, Toys R Us is back. Feel good about Toys R Us. It all rings very, very hollow and shitty.
Okay, versus it just disappearing forever.
I mean, there's room for another toy store, but it's preying on people's emotions. And it's a weird emotion to have in the first place.
Welcome to how brands work, Ian.
And I think it's gross. It's not like this is a magic new thing.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Then you like the Apple brand. There you go.
I don't.
You do.
It was easy. It's what Vonnie bought me for Christmas.
No, you like the Apple brand. You're in with the brand now.
No,
I mean, that's how this works.
I have no love for the Apple brand.
Okay, then get an Android phone that costs a quarter of the price and does all the same exact stuff.
It's what Vonnie got me for Christmas.
I'm just saying that we haven't.
Are you upset because I dared besmirch the name Toys R Us that is not the same?
I don't care. I just think it's funny when you think I'm not in love with brands when they're all around you all the time.
No, I'm just saying I'm not going to feel good about a brand coming back. It doesn't do anything for me.
Well, there are a lot of people that are upset when it went away. Like Dan did a video about it, celebrating with his son. Like,
I understand being upset that the toy store you knew went away. This is not the toy store you knew coming back.
Well, yes,
I'm not insulted.
Yes, that's why I'm saying I'm struggling with it, because if it comes back to something, then it's better than it not existing anymore. I guess it's better than it not existing. That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather.
You're saying keep it dead and buried.
I'd rather it was just a different toy store. And I just think it's, like I said, I think it rings kind of shitty and hollow when everyone lost their jobs. Toys R Us is gone forever. It's back in a year.
A year and a half.
It was gone. It didn't even have it didn't even have a decade to sit for a minute. They just resurrected its dead ass immediately after it died.
It's not a movie franchise. It can come back whenever it wants. There's no waiting period. It has to come back, Ian. That's not how business works. We got to wait 10 years to come back.
Yes. We all have brands that we know. We all have brands that we like. I'm not upset with people for being upset that Toys R Us went away. I think that this is very hollow and very cheap.
So what would you prefer? It was called something else?
Yeah, just have a different toy store.
Okay. Or you don't want the same people running it, or you want someone else to come up with an idea for a toy store?
I feel like if they're bringing it back, they should be rehiring old employees.
Well, that's another conversation entirely, and maybe they did. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, Toys R Us is back. Everyone loves Toys R Us.
It's two mall stores. They're never opening these gigantic warehouse-sized places that hire 70 people to work in one store. That's not happening again. That's just not happening.
Seems kind of gross.
Okay,
Gone for a year.
Year and a half.
Year and a half, Pat. It could be gone for 2 years, and my statement would be the same.
So them trying to resurrect it, you got a problem with. Okay, I didn't expect you to be that strong about it. Them trying to resurrect the,
I mean, go for it. I'll probably end up there. I just don't. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't feel anything about this.
Okay. You don't think kick shit on people that might feel good about it.
I'm not kicking shit on people. I don't get it. You
don't get that people are nostalgic for a toy store that most of their happiest childhood memories are centered around? But I'm saying that's where it comes from, though. That's the thought.
My thinking is, I feel like the people who actually liked Toys R Us would be kind of upset that they're bringing back Toys R Us as some shell of its former self.
But that's the only option for this, though. I mean, it's never going to be a big box store ever again.
Sure,
it's just not happening.
I don't think
it's this or nothing.
I don't think people are as my take, and I could be wrong. I don't think people are as happy about this as you think they are.
I said I'm struggling with it myself, and maybe some people are happy about it, and they're going to show up there. People don't go. I mean, I guess people still go to malls; they still exist. This mall they go to because it's a giant Paramus one. And people, I know people from New York come into New Jersey because it's lower sales tax, and so that's why I think the Paramus one does very well. It's not close from New York City, but I don't know. I don't go to malls anymore, so I don't know how mall stores do in general. I don't know.
I would be interested in Dan's opinion, because when people were talking about Toys R Us coming back, like almost immediately after it closed, he said, I remember in a Twitter thread, he was very wary of it.
Sure.
So I
don't think what people. Here's the thing. You know that I'll talk about just in terms of the physical makeup. You know that it's going to be more focused on, I guess, seasonal items. I know they're going to sell. You know, here's your. I think they showed pictures. Here's like the Nintendo Switch section. Here's like this popular doll toy section. Here's that. But because they got to make money, obviously. This isn't going to be like KB, where KB was a mini Toys R Us. They have as many things they could possibly throw into the store, you know, into like 7 or 8 aisles. And they had puzzles, they had video games. I don't think this is going to be it. This is going to be like, here's the stuff we know is going to sell. You know, here's the stuff that
I think for any modern toy store, I think that's a smart idea. Call it Toys R Us, or Jim Applecrack's Toys and Games.
Jim Applecrack's Toys and Games. Are you nostalgic for that, Ian?
That's a name I just pulled out of nowhere.
Jim Applecrack's Toys and Games. Did you see the Rocky Possum artwork?
Yes.
Okay, someone do Jim Applecrack's Toys and Games. Off Route 22 in Scott Place, New Jersey.
But
Jim Applecrack.
No, I don't think there's a market or a space for a toy store as big as Toys R Us used to be. I think it really would have to be a heavily rotated toy store.
Yes.
To the point where we only carry this certain toy when the new line is released for, say, a couple of weeks. Now, that's going to be tough, too, because it's not like there's stuff being released all the time. I'm sure toys just... I don't know toys in this way, but I'm sure just like video games and movies, there are seasons that are heavy on toy releases and seasons that are light on toy releases. I don't know what they would do during those off seasons.
Mark Callan, a marketing professor at Rutgers Business School, go Rutgers, said that Toys R Us is attempting to find a niche. They're creating an experiential type place, a place where they're inviting their former customers to come and experience toys, which is something that you can't do with traditional outlets or online. So yeah, when you did you see any of the pictures from inside?
Yes.
So yeah, you could like play the Switch.
Sure.
You could never do that in a toy. Toys R Us before video games were cold, and grab the ticket and go to the.
You were able to play games at a Toys R Us for quite some time.
Oh, I'm talking about from our childhood.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Cold and clinical.
Sure.
Grab the ticket. You go to the check cashing booth in the back, and they grab it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, now in the past 20 years or 15 years, 20 years, it's been more like a Target or a Walmart where they have booths.
They've got the demo kiosks.
But they're trying to. That's their only play though, is to bring people into the shop and play it. I don't know how you do that with toys though. I guess you have some toys you can play.
I do remember my Toys R Us had a TurboGrafx setup that you could play.
Oh, they had the kiosk.
They had the Air Zonk, and I remember my first experience.
They had an Air Zonk setup?
Yep, my first experience with Air Zonk was very, very poor. Was because the controller was broken and you couldn't move up; you could only move down. So I was trying to beat the level very strategically by only moving when I absolutely needed.
So we had the Laserdisc kiosk, but you couldn't play them. You could just watch it.
Oh no, we could actually play it.
You can watch it, and then I can't. Yeah, that was a running video. You couldn't even hit like the game to like the Super Nintendo ones. You could like hit the game to demo. You couldn't do that with the TurboGrafx. It's just a VHS tape, which I own somewhere. Spike volleyball. You know that guy's voice. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I'm sorry I upset you. You
didn't. I wasn't about to fall into the yay.
You don't have to do that, E. I'm not inviting you to jack off Jeffrey the Giraffe here. Like I said, I'm struggling with myself. But it's either that or it goes belly up entirely.
From a business standpoint, I get it. Because it's only been gone for a year and a half. Not in a year, but not quite 2 years. But because it's only been gone for a year and a half, people still remember the name. There are thousands, if not millions, of people out there who are going to see this Toys R Us, and they're not going to say, "Oh, Toys R Us is back." They're going to say, "Oh, I haven't seen a Toys R Us in a while." I think there's a lot of people who aren't going to know why.
You deserve it for this segment.
You would do it regardless.
Yes, I would.
I think it hasn't been gone long enough, I think, for most people to realize that it was ever gone.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So it makes business sense because people are going to go, that's where I go to buy toys.
17 months it's been, Ian. It's been more than a year and a half. 17 months. It's a concept store. Jeffrey the Giraffe is walking around. LOL surprise dolls. Well, I don't know that's a thing. It's a thing. LOL surprise dolls is on a shelf there. All right. Well, they're going to open more probably next year and see how they do and slowly integrate. I think it's nice to have a chain of toy stores and malls. Because what does our local malls have for toys? Do they have it? What do they have for toy stores?
I think there's a couple independent. There's an independent one, but nothing huge.
Nothing huge.
Excuse me.
Just like a little above mom and pop, basically.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder what they sell. Anyway. All right, moving on.
Playmobil.
Playmobil?
All independent toy stores, all small toy stores always have a hearty display of Playmobil.
When you go to like the Reading outlets or those like little, those you walk around, there's like stores set up here. What the hell are they called? Like Peddler's Village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The little village things.
Tons
the
of
toy stores
Playmobil.
always have Playmobil.
Always
Probably
Playmobil.
good margins on those Playmobil. They're easy to work with. I love Playmobil, by the way. Playmobil doesn't get any love. It's just Lego. I love Playmobil. Because you don't build as much with Playmobil. They're mostly just like you just put the guy in the horse. Sorry. All right.
Put the guy on the horse.